I don't think it'll get ruined.
The freebie, it's a freebie.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Unless it goes all the way up into the top. So yeah, maybe it's up there. Maybe. We'll find out. Oh, what a big turnout today. Just throw two bagels on the table. Look what happened. I'm not being recorded, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Be careful.
You're speaking to millions.
You're right, to millions of people.
That would be good. That's
Be careful what you say.
there's 14 million Jews in the world.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I get Morgan, everybody. Boker Tov. I'm going to tell you which page we're holding over here on in the pamphlet. Again, I'm sorry, I don't have enough pamphlets I have to share. And holding in 10. And you said 10?
10.
10, correct. 10. So I gave you another piece of paper which I put together last week. I gave another class someplace else on Hanukkah, and I'm going to try to mix the two together. And I said that we give this class on Shara B'Tachin. I try to connect it to Chassidus and to the day what we're dealing with. We are holding tonight Hanukkah. Today is already out of Hanukkah. Tonight is Hanukkah. So everything is interconnected in Chassidus. Torah all comes to one point, and that is God. And everything in Torah is God. So everything is ultimately interconnected. So we're going to start the class, which is Shara B'Tachin. And we're going to go from there. We'll go on a transit. Was it, guys? A little bit not off the subject, but a little bit according to the way we're going to look at it, a little bit in a Hasidic format. So, be God observant. That's what we're holding. If you have the book, it's on page 76. It's on page 10. Akdama Harivi, he says in the fourth introduction, a person should pay strong attention and to make an effort, great effort, to uphold that which the Creator obligated him to do. Why? Because that's part of his service to him. We are here to serve God. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We are here to serve God. And since we're here to serve God, then that's our focus. Our focus is to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We even though we have a lot of things that we do as a human being, it doesn't make a difference. The focus of a Jew is to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to serve God. That's what we came down to the world for. Everything else is secondary or is there for the service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's very simple. If you ask a question, a Jew shouldn't have a problem. What is he doing in the world? A lot of people might have a problem. What they're here? What are they here for? All right, they're going through all these headaches and problems. What do I need to be here for? What am I doing in this world? A Jew shouldn't have that question. Nobody should have that question. What is he here for? Because it's a simple answer. It's told to us over and over again. We're here in the world to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to serve God. That's what we're here in the world for. And there's nothing else what you're in the world for. Everything else that you're in the world, where you go to work, or you have money, or you go through struggles, it's all there for one purpose, is the way you're going to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The way you're going to serve God. Right? Because as we learned, we started the Tanya, Alter Rebbe says when your soul is called out from when you were born, right? Before you were born, the Gemara says your soul was called out of the chamber of souls. And it told you, the Malach above told you everything that you're going to do, it's going to happen to you in life. Everything. Whatever's going to happen. So your journey of your life has been already predestined. The day you were born, the day you're going to pass away. I want to thank you for reminding. We want to do this class in memory of Moshe ben Miriam, Moshe ben Nassan and Miriam, Michael Mylan. They should give him a lichtige Gan Eden. And that's the way Kabbalah says we continue his journey by learning in his honor, and memory of his neshama. So your journey of a life has been predestined. Besides one thing, Alter Rebbe says, besides one thing in Tanya today, besides one tzaddik v'rosh loy karma, whether you're going to be righteous or wicked is not said what you're going to be. So that was given your free choice in life. Whether you're going to be righteous. Are you cold here? It's cold here? Okay. So you got to say it. If you're not going to say it, I won't know. So tzaddik v'rasha loy karma. Tzaddik v'rasha loy karma. You're righteous or wicked is not been said. That's your free choice. The way you're going to have your attitude in life, that is up to you. You're going to either have a positive attitude or a negative attitude. Nothing in the world should affect the way you have an attitude in life. Nothing, and nothing should affect you. That's what the Frierdiker Rebbe said, that a neshama never goes into gullus. A soul never goes into gullus. The soul is pure in any situation you're in. Your neshama is always pure. And therefore, what's the service of the soul? That's what you have to ask yourself. You have to say, what is the service of my neshama? What's the service of my soul? If I know the service of my soul, then that is something that should give me my total excitement and happiness in life. And if anything else is challenging me, that's a secondary issue. And that's where I come to Hanukkah. I have to find the connection. The connection. I got to find the lead. Right? Everything's about connection. It's about all connecting the dots. Everything's about connection. And that is that the Eibusha gave a yid, a neshama, which is called which is called light. Kinei Hashem nishmas adam sosentai. That the light, the candle of God is the soul of man. That means each and every one of us has a Eliki. Each and every one of us has a godly light. And this godly light is pure. You cannot make this godly light. That's like a candle. You cannot dim the candle. You can blow it out. You can put it in a box. You can hide the candle. You cannot change the candle. The light will always be the same. And that's the beauty of light. The beauty of the concept of light is, as the Chassidus explains, that light is always connected to its source. Right? Or else it would not be light. Light is always connected to its source. The light that each and every one of us has, a light within us, a light of God within us, always connected to its source, always connected to the source where it came from. And this source is not affected, so the source is God. So the source is not affected, whatever this light goes. Wherever this light may go, not going to affect the light. And we say that in our davening every morning. The soul that you're giving me is pure. Nobody can impurify this neshama. Not me, not anybody else. You cannot impurify something you cannot get a hand over. Something you cannot get control over. It's not there you should control it. It's there you should use it. The light is there for you to use. It's not there you should control the light. It's not there that you should control your neshama. Your neshama came down to you should use it. The more you use it, the more light you're going to have. The less you're going to use it, the less light you're going to have. That's it. You're gonna put the light in dark places. That's it. You put walls in front of the light. We have to stop putting walls in front of the light. We keep on putting walls in front of our neshama. We keep on putting walls in front of our soul. Why? Because we don't, for whatever reason, the body. That's the struggle between the body and the neshama, because they're opposites. The body wants to go more to the ground. The body is more depressed. The body is more complicated. The soul is simple. The neshama is simple. Right? Ishtam. Yaakov Avinu, even though he was far from a simple person, if you read the Torah, The Torah says he was a simple person. Because when it came to the service of Yaakov Avinu, it was a simple person. He served the Eibishter, he served God. So it was a simple thing. It's not too complicated. When it comes to serve God, it's not complicated. It's very simple. When it comes to work with the world, now you got complications. And when you schlep God into the world, that's when you make God complicated. God is not complicated. It's very simple. Right? He's able said it and it came. Very simple. Not a very, very difficult. You want to make it difficult? You always can make anything difficult. The brain wants to make everything difficult, everything more complicated. God is not complicated. God is the concept of earth. It's an aspect of light. It's a concept of spirituality. It's a concept of goodness, kindness, warmth. Anything that is above complication is God. So every complication, every strife, David says, get me out of it. Don't mix me in your strife. Right? Even the aspect of Shalom Bayis, don't mix me. The religion is not part of your strife. Because it's the opposite of what God is. So if you want to make a strife, you want to make a struggle, it has nothing to do with me. It's your problems. You have got problems. Go to a psychiatrist. Go to the psychoanalyst. It's not my issue. I know it's serious. I'm not my issue. The Eibush is not the opposite of the Eibush is Shalom. Shalom Shemai. The Eibush is peace. His name is peace. His emotions is peace. His life is peace. It's Oir. Oir is simple. It's a simple concept. It's not a very hard concept. Oir. And I just gave you a cheat sheet. I put this sheet together for this class. For this class, for another class I gave. And that's the Oir Avaya that the Eibush created in the first day of creation. That's it. It's the Hebrew words over here. But everybody know this verse. This verse in the Torah, right? And God said, let there be light. That was the first creation. God said, let there be light. That's not the light of the sun. It's not the light of the moon. That's a whole different light. The sun and the moon were not created till the third day of creation. And the Eibush just saw this light is beautiful. So the Eibush separated between the aspects of Oir and Cheshach. It's separated between the concept of light and darkness, that it shouldn't come together. That was a tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge is the mixture of good and bad. Right? That's what happened on the sixth day of creation. The tree of knowledge. Yeah, now your knowledge. Everything now, man takes knowledge and mixes up everything. Right? Maybe just say what do you mean? There's no, what do you mean? It's very simple difference between what is right and wrong. So now you get knowledge, and suddenly it becomes the Bahala. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. I don't know what is right, and I don't know what's wrong. Right? And that's the more we get into confusion of what is right and what is wrong, the more we do things that we shouldn't be doing. Because we're confused in the aspect of what's right and what's wrong. But everything is simple. What's right and what's wrong. By God, it's simple. What is right, what's wrong, what's wrong. What is Oir and what is Cheshach. We always think, that's why in Chassidus, you learn Tanya, what is good and bad is not we always think bad is, kill somebody, ripping off somebody, stealing from somebody. That's bad. But you learn today in Tanya, the Alter Rebbe says, if you don't, you have bittul Torah. If you don't learn Torah, when you're supposed to learn Torah, you're a Russia. You're bad. You didn't rip anybody off. You didn't kill anybody. Nobody was hurt because you decided not to learn Torah today. Nobody got hurt. You're Russia. In the Torah, you consider a Russia. Why? Because that's Cheshach.
That's what?
That's darkness. That's it. That's Gna. That's Cheshach. That's darkness. Finished. And that is the opposite of good. So doing nothing is Cheshach. Doing the opposite of good is Cheshach. Doing nothing is Cheshach. It's not good. Person can say, I'm not doing anything bad. No, I'm doing something wrong. And that's Cheshach. That's the Sirat. Why? Because it's the opposite of holiness. It's very simple. Light is filling. Light brings, when you put a light in, it brings light. You take light out of the room, it becomes dark. It's empty. It becomes dark. That's the concept of emptiness. Going back to our class on Thursday, that's the concept of emptiness is dark, is negativity. It always has to be, your mind always has to be filled with something. If it's filled with nothing, it's like filled with negativity. Yeah, you with me? Let's end with the verse. Right? There was morning and night. There was one day. The first day of creation doesn't say Yom Rishon. It says Yom Echad. Where there's light, there's unity. That's why a woman lights the Shabbos candles on Friday night. Right? She lights the Shabbos candles on Friday night to bring Shalom Bayis, light, to bring light of the Shabbos. How does light to the candle bring Shalom Bayis? So years ago, light to the candle, you didn't have any candles in your house. You could have been, you didn't see what you're eating, and it brought strife. But today, Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of lights. We have Baruch Hashem, we have electricity. What? Because it's a different light. Shabbos candles bring in a light into the world. That's how you bring the Shabbos in. The Shabbos brought in by the woman bringing light into the house. Oid of a mitzvah. The oid of Shabbos candle. Much of Shabbos we end off with a light again. We end off with a candle. End off with a candle. We go into Shabbos with a candle. We end off the Shabbos with a candle. Just throw in, Kabbalah. You look at your hands on the candle. Women don't do that. It says only men. Yeah. Yeah, it's only men. Right.
Why?
Oh, why? Why? It's a proactive. The answer is because the candle of Motzei Shabbos is to go out to the world, and that's the man. So go out to the world. The woman brings the Shabbos. The woman brings in the Shabbos candle. She brings in the peace on Shabbos, and that gives the man the capability to take the light to the week. You make a bra. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, some, yeah, not the lights, because that's the man's obligation to go out to the light. So you make a bracha. You make a bracha on the light. You make you'll always, even if you have no man, you're gonna make a bracha on the light. You make the bracha on the light. I'm saying you look at your fingers, right? Because the man is going out to the world. He's going to his actions. He has to do an action. The whole concept to look at your fingers is that you want to do an action with the light. So the woman brings in doesn't have obligation to look at her fingers. She brings holiness into the Shabbos. Finish my thought, and then you'll ask. So she brings holiness into the Shabbos by bringing the candles in the Shabbos. A man brings in holiness into the world, light into the world by doing an action, by doing a physical action. So with two different obligations and therefore with two different responsibilities. So therefore, the candle on Motzei Shabbos is more connected to a man that goes out to the world. That's why the Eibishter. Why do we have a Havdalah candle? Because Adam and Isha was afraid to go out into the world. Right? They threw him out of Gan Eden, right? So he threw him out of Gan Eden. He knew already he was going to be thrown out of Gan Eden on Friday, right? He sinned, and God said you're going to be thrown out of Gan Eden. But God didn't throw him out of Gan Eden until Motzei Shabbos. So when he threw him out of Gan Eden, dark worlds, he gave him a Ravuka. He gave him Abdullah candle. And he said, okay, this will bring light. This will give you a capability of light into the world. So we do the same thing every Motzei Shabbos. We're going out to the world. Adam is going out to the world. So Pasha, the woman is always in Gan Eden. A man is not always in Gan Eden. I don't know if that truly works, whatever. So a woman is always in Gan Eden. She's always in paradise. That's it. Men have to struggle to find paradise, whatever. Oh, that's what it says. The obligation of a man is to go out and find a woman, and to go out and find the earth. That's why neshama is feminine, right? What are we saying on Friday night? Who could find the woman? Who could find the neshama? I would love to find my neshama. That's really what I'm trying to do on Shabbos. I'm trying to find my soul, my isha, my soul, my feminine. Trying to find the beauty of bina, of understanding of godliness. I'm trying to connect to the light. I'm trying to find the true light, and hopefully my wife lit the Shabbos candles correctly, and she brought the light into the house. So me, as a whatever, is gonna, as a man, is going to connect to this light, this feminine light, the Neshama, Shechina, Shabbos, Malchus, Shabbos Queen, and I'm gonna have a beautiful Shabbos. And then the second Shabbos is over. That's it. I've lost it. Right? I'm gonna lose that soul. I'm gonna lose that godliness. I'm gonna lose that feeling, and I have to, my light. The only way I receive the light is through physical action, through actions, and through doing mitzvahs, and through conquering the world. It's a frightening situation. I think both men and women are connected, but that's why. But symbolically, women don't do it. I think I'll be Zoya. Maybe other people do it. I'm just saying I'll be Kabbalah.
That was what I was going to ask you to clarify.
I think I'll be Kabbalah.
Yeah. It's like they're taking care of the home, but not necessarily. A lot of times they're out in the world.
Right. I'll be Kabbalah. I'm just saying I'll be Kabbalah. I didn't say maybe other women do it. I'm saying I'll be Kabbalah. No, I think the both men and women. Because in Chassidus, this concept of masculine and feminine is both by men and women. So we're actually all feminine. We're all the Abish is the masculine. We're all the feminine. All the nation, all the humans are feminine. So it's a. We're talking not about a physical per se. We're talking about a spiritual concept. So a spiritual concept. Correct. Yeah, correct. Women go out. Right. Correct. I'm not here. I don't think it's an aveda if you're gonna look at your fingernails.
And I asked you also about when you say like learning. So usually that focuses on men about the learning.
Right.
So how would that apply to women in terms of Hasidus? In terms of you said, the only thing you want to know when the Shem Willis, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to learn. Right. So what exactly are you?
Well, women have to learn just like men have to learn. It says maybe you have to learn different things. But women have to learn Torah just like men have to learn Torah. The mitzvah of learning Torah is not a difference by men and women. The difference is what maybe they're obligated to learn. It's a different obligation. So a woman doesn't need to learn the Hilchos Shechita because she's not going to shecht animals. Because it's not her job. That's it. So it's not her job. So she's not going to shecht animals. So why should she learn Shechita? There's a lot of things that a woman doesn't need to learn. There's things that a man doesn't need to learn also that are total obligated to a woman. But a woman is obligated to learn Torah in that aspect. So it's the different obligations between a man and woman, limud Torah. But limud Torah, let's just talk about the aspect of learning Torah is men and women are totally equal in the aspect of learning Torah. There's no difference.
So we don't want to go to a psychiatrist, we can just learn our own
That's what it says. Esa'er, I put that in there. Esa'er, the word Esa'er equals up to 613. And the word Batera in the Torah is also 613. So we're gonna find this earth in the Torah. That's it. So we're gonna find the light. We're gonna find it in the Torah. So therefore, when you say the light is the light, I mean, you can translate this light in many aspects. I would translate it in purpose. Torah gives you a purpose in life. You want to have a purpose in life. That's not going to change your obligations in life. Selfish obligations in life. You have a lot of obligations in life. But the Torah gives a person a purpose in life. Torah is not there to tell you, Torah is not there to give you what job you should have. Whether you should be an accountant, or a doctor, or a rabbi. Because that doesn't make a difference to the Torah what you do. The Torah doesn't make a difference whether you're a man or a woman either. Torah there in a purpose, what gives you your purpose in your life. And when you have a purpose, then everything else falls into place. When you don't have a purpose, that's when you struggle. That's when we struggle. So that's what he says the same thing over here. We need a purpose in life. He just says it very abruptly. You have to serve the Eibishter. That's what you're here for. A Jew, every human being should have a purpose in life. So when a person asks you, what are you here for? I'm here to serve God. Oh, but what do you do? Oh, I'll say what I do. Maybe I do nothing. Oh, I do. I'm a rabbi. That's not my, what it doesn't make me more, the rabbi is not my purpose in life. It's the way I use my purpose in life. That's why the truth is everybody needs to use out their purpose in life. Everybody can say, oh, the only way I can use my privilege if I'm a rabbi, if I'm a rebbetzin. That's a false statement. Because the Eibishter, God, is in everything in life, whether you're a rabbi, doctor, garbage collector. Because everything has the same, has its purpose. Everything, the purpose of godliness, for sure, its purpose is equal by all entities in life, by all people that do anything in their life, whether a man or a woman or any levels of. So therefore, it's very simple. If you want to have bitachon, that means you have a purpose in life. If you don't have a purpose in life, sure, it's very difficult to have bitachon Eibush. You don't have a purpose in life, you're in disarray. Especially when the Eibush gives you struggles and it gives you problems and it gives you issues. You don't have a purpose, then you're b'chayshich alecha. You're gonna go in darkness. And that's a sad situation. Chassidus loves the word light. Chassidus loves the word light. Everything in Chassidus is oil. Everything in Chassidus is oil. Right? I got what are we? Oil ain't safe. We Chassidus is oil ain't safe. The infinity is called the oil ain't safe, the infinite light. Light is infinite. Light goes wherever you're gonna let it in. That's when they asked the Kotzker Rebbe, where's the Eibishter as a child? He said, where you let him in. Because light will go where you take down the wall. Where you open the door, where you open the shade. Light will go. It will not stop anywhere as long as you let it in. And that's why Chassidim loves the word Chassidus, because also Earth is 207. Earth equals up to 207. And Raz equals up to 207. Raz, which is Chassidus. Raz is the hidden aspects of Torah, is 207. Razi de Razi. Chassidus is the hidden of the hidden. Hidden. Elevated or hidden. And the right side is hidden. Raz means high. Something that's high. High, above. Yes.
I have a question.
You have a question?
I have a lot of questions, but I'll give you this one. And looks through his, does this with the Havdalah, with the candle, that it represents something about Adam, that when they were back in the day, they had the skin was like a nail, the whole,
right.
And that represents going back to the
right.
garden.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. There's like 5,000. There's like thousands and thousands of things that shaking over there represents. If I would, you can have a class only on that, and it'll take a month. So to go through all the reasonings of everything, we'll never finish. Well, that's yeah. But we're supposed to still do the book over here. So, right. So just to say what she just said it quickly. So it's brought down, and it's a medrash that his neshama shone through his body. Right, his soul, Adam Rishon's soul, his body was. Give me the fancy English word. Opaque. What's translucent? Translucent. Fancy. I see. I know some fancy English words. Translucent means that his soul is shine through his body. Soul shine through his body. Ultimately, sin, his body became opaque. That's the further fancy. It became like we have a body.
He lost the light.
Lost, the light is hidden, right? The body hides the light of the soul. So now the body and the soul cannot see. I say you have a show. How do you know? Because in Tanya it says you have a neshama, but how do you know? Anybody saw the neshama? Anybody hung up the neshama? Anybody brought the neshama? It's a spiritual thing, and your body is physical, and it's very hard to see the physical and the spiritual. That's why we thank God every morning and say, the Eibishter does one of the greatest wonders of the world. One of the greatest wonders of the world is bringing a neshama and a guf together. That is the wonders of the world. It's not the Grand Canyon. It's that the Abishter brought the neshama and my guf together every morning. That is the Floyas Habayda. That is the greatest wonder in the world, creation, of bringing the spiritual soul and the physical body together every single morning is one of the greatest miracles that happens to me every single day. Right? And that's the beauty of the Maidani. That's the beauty of that prayer. And that's the concept that we all need to connect to. So we all need to connect to our Oid and Neshama. We all need to connect to the Oid of our soul. The Oid of our soul. That's what we're going to Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a revelation of light. Hanukkah is a miracle of light. It's a miracle of the victory of soul over body. The victory of righteousness over wickedness. We say it in the davening, in the Anedus Alalu, right? The victory of righteousness over wickedness. The victory of the minority over the majority. What we think is the minority over the majority. Candles a small thing. Candles a small thing, right? But it's ultimately that thing, that small thing, that's more important than anything that you think, everything else. My neshama is more important than anything in my guf, in my physical body. There's no more. It's not that my body and my soul are equal. I have to come to the realization that my soul is greater. My purpose is greater than anything that I go through physically in life. And that's betachin. That takes betachin. Trust me, that takes a lot of trust.
That's the serious message of the rabbis.
Well, thank you. You're talking about me? I love it.
Yeah.
It's being praised today a lot, so keep on going. Oh. Yeah.
This is my avoda, and this is like something.
Yeah.
I have the course to do.
Right. Correct. 100%. 100%. That's why Gemara says that Neiras Chanukah ain't a betela lo'ilam. That the light of Chanukah will never be bottled, will never be nullified. The light of Chanukah lasted longer, and it's lasted, with the word better, survived more than the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash. Right, the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash was not here. But the menorah of Hanukkah, it went through harder times in history. It went through tougher situations in history, and it's still here. The menorah is still here. And when Mashiach comes, it's still going to light the menorah.
Yeah, I heard Hanukkah and
Purim, we're not going to stop. We're going to still light the menorah. We're going to still light the menorah and still drink. That's it. Baruch Hashem. That's the important thing. That's right. We'll still have it, and we'll still say l'chaim. Those two things are, how spiritual we're gonna get. We're still gonna say l'chaim. So, but the menorah will last, right? Because the menorah is earth. It's connected to earth Ein Sof. It's connected to the infinite light that was in the first day of creation. It was revealed thousands of years later. This earth was revealed. Ganos Tzaddikim was Ganos when the Yidden showed that they were tzaddikim, the greatness of righteousness over the opposite of righteousness. Because that's Hanukkah. Hanukkah is not the concept of Purim, where like Hitler and Machshmei wanted to kill the Yidden. It was not. Purim, Haman wanted to kill the Yidden. He didn't care about godliness and about Torah mitzvahs. He just wanted to kill the Yidden. He wanted to kill the Gufim. Right? Hanukkah is not about that. Hanukkah is about the soul. It's totally about the victory of the soul. Because the Greeks had no interest in killing Yidden. They actually loved the Jews to begin with. And they wanted the Jews just to get rid of their souls. That's it. And they would live happily ever after. If we just get rid of our souls, let's live like the Greeks. Right? Who are you? I'm a Greek. You ask a Jew today who he is? I'm American. Same thing. That's what America did to us also. We became Americans. There's nothing wrong. We are Americans. We have American passport. But if somebody asks who you are, you're a Yid. You're a Yid. I'm a Yid who's an American. Baruch Hashem, America allows that concept. You could be a Yid and an American. And it's not dual citizenship. It's two different. A Yiddishkeit is not a citizenship. Yiddishkeit is not a citizen, not a nationality. Yiddishkeit is my soul. It's who I am, my essence. American is where I live. Or the laws that I need to live by American law. Or the taxes I need to pay. That doesn't make me who I am. Because I can be someplace else. I can move out. I can go to Israel. I can go to anywhere. And become a different citizen of a different country. But Yiddishkeit, you'll be wherever you are, whether you're American, Mexican, Israeli, doesn't make a difference. Yiddishkeit is not a nationality. So that's oil. Oil has no nationality. You can't box it. You can't contain it. You can't make it bigger or smaller. It's oil is oil. And that's the beauty of Hanukkah. So we got the Hanukkah in. Okay, Baruch Hashem. So that's over here. He just says it in a different way, a little bit different, self-understood. And he talks about to follow the Eibishter. Dvar Hashem zu halacha. The word of God is halacha. It's interesting. Halacha is law. Dvar Hashem zu halacha. We call it halacha. Halacha means to go. Dvar Hashem zu halacha. The word of God is the way we go. So halacha is called the way we go. Halacha means to go. It's not the right word for law. It should say Dvar Hashem zu din. If you want to use the right word, you say din. Dinei Torah, the laws of Torah. Dvar Hashem zu halacha. The word of the Eibishter is the way we march. That's the way we march. We march to the band of God. We march to the laws of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't march to anybody else's rules and regulations. So that's how we Americans, now we have other rules. Dinah Machus Dinah, the laws of the land is the law. That's extra more rules. Because a Yid has one way. We follow the Torah's laws. And as long as the laws of America don't contradict the Torah's laws, we have to now add more laws on our existence. But if Chas Shalom, imagine through history, with the Torah, with the law of the land, went against the Torah. The Jews didn't say, okay, dinner machus dinner, the laws of the land is the law. No, because it cannot go against. We cannot change the halacha, the way of our life. It's impossible. Because Dvar Hashem, so halacha, this is the way we go. This is the way we march.
Isn't this the essence of where anti-Semitism occurs?
All right, but it's not an anti-Semitism class. We did that.
I know, but it's all related. If we have such an allegiance, that's what's used against us.
Everything is used against us. That's what's the class. Everything is used against us. So you can't live that way. It's always sure it's used against us. Yeah, it's used against us. So what do we do about it? We're smart, it's used against us. We're successful, it's used against us. We're not successful, it's used against us. What is not used against us? So we can't live that way. A Yid goes the way of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're not here to be better than anybody. We're not here to outrun anybody. We're not here to overpower anybody. We're not here to out-cheat anybody. We're here to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's it. We're here to serve the Eibishter. We march to the Eibishter's beat. We march to the band of God, and that's all we do. The nations of the world don't like it. That's their problem. I'm not telling the nations of the world not to march to their beat. Gesund to hate. That's why I want a menorah on my car, and I want a menorah in public. Because that's my beat. I'm not telling the goyim not to have their symbols and do whatever they want in their way of life. That's the opposite. Everybody should march to their own beat. Correct?
As long as it doesn't infringe on it.
I'm not here infringing on anybody. Yeah.
It's become
100%. That took a long time. Took a long time. Every place. We fought the government over here in Boca 34 years ago. 100%. Because the light doesn't, it's not a fight. We're here to do good. And that's it. You want to, if negative wants to fight against you, that's their right. But a year over here, not the Rebbe always say always this statement. The Gemara says, "Anan pala diyamamana." We are the workers of the light.
You have it on the street where the light.
Anan pala diyamamana. We're the workers of the night, of the day. We're the workers of light. Don't get involved in darkness. Don't get involved in fighting with anybody. Your obligation is to do good. Your obligation is to be a light. And let the darkness will be dispelled by doing light, by bringing light in the world. And that's what our avoid is. And that's it. What's the light? What is our light? It's a Torah. That's it. The light is a Torah. The light, that's our light. Once that's the Rebbe Rashab, what is a chassid? And if you ask, you ask the chassid, ask him, he said, what is a chassid? Give me an analogy of a chassid. So he said a chassid is a lamplighter. A chassid is a lamplighter. It means he lights the lamplighter. Those days, in times of Rebbe Rashab, there used to be a guy who used to go around to the lamps in the street. He used to light it. That's how you had light in the streets. He's a lamplighter. A chassid is a lamplighter. So the chassid said, what happens if the lamp is in the middle of the ocean? Then a chassid goes in the middle of the ocean. What happens if it's in the desert? Then a chassid goes to the desert. Because that's his obligation. His purpose in life is to be a lamplighter. So wherever the post is, that's where you go. Sometimes it's in Boca and sometimes it's in Siberia. Wherever the lamp needs to be lit, that's where the chassid goes, because that's what his purpose in life is. Your purpose in life is to bring light to the world. And the most beautiful thing of light is that no light is diminished when you give somebody else light. No light, actually, no light. Every person over here can light up another 100 lights, another 1,000, another 1,000,000 lights. And the light is not diminished. The light in the neshama is not diminished. So you have not to be afraid of letting the neshama shine and letting it shine for others and being a light to others.
The light becomes bigger when others get
Correct.
light.
Okay, let's continue. We're already late.
We're never late. We're never always on time.
I know. So therefore, I want to try to get this up. To fulfill his mitzvahs and refrain from doing that which he exhorted us not to do, in accordance to his request. For then the Creator will agree to bestow upon him things that which he relies on him. As the rabbis of blessed memory said, make his will like your will. I say that your will should become the will of God, so that he may make your will like his will. Nullify your will before his will, so he will nullify the will of others before your will. Right? Well, the last word's a powerful statement of the Pirkei Avos. You want to change the world. You want to change your reality. Put it in the hands of the Eibishter. Give it over to God. Give it over to God. You want to give it over to God, and God then God will help. Will change reality. You want everything to be done your way. Then go your way. Gesundheit. Go your way. Try to figure it out. No. That's free choice. That's the free choice. Sadik v'rasha leikama. To find this light, that's up to you. It's up to you. You want to live in a life that you're gonna have to figure it out yourself. Figure it out yourself. You might fail. I'm not saying you cannot figure it out yourself. Avraham Avinu figured it out himself. Figure it out yourself. Over here, the Torah gives you the capability not to go figure it out yourself. The Torah was given, and the Torah is there for everybody, and it's there. The light is there for everybody who wants to connect to the light, who wants to connect to this concept, this purpose in life. You can connect to it or not. That doesn't mean difference whether you're responsible to do it or not, because that's you have no choice. You're a Jew, so you have to do it. But you can be miserable throughout your whole life. And there's misery in what you're doing. Or you can look at it in a positive way, that it's a purpose in my life. It gives me purpose. Gives me purpose. Look at that. Shem, next 8 days, I'm going to be able to do a mitzvah, to light the menorah. I'm going to be able to do a mitzvah that went through so much sadis for the last 2,000 years. To light this menorah, or Jews lit the menorah in any kind of situation, in the gulags and in the concentration camps and hiding in the cellars from the Inquisition, and this light kept on going. And tonight I can do it, Baruch Hashem, b'simcha b'tuv leivav. I can do it with joy and happiness and celebrate doing this menorah that was done through such pain and suffering. Isn't it unbelievable? So they did it b'simcha. They did b'simcha in their tzar. We should do b'simcha in being happy that we can do a mitzvah, that we can do a mitzvah together. That's what the Frierdiker Rebbe said. He mentioned that Thursday night the Shulchan Aruch says you should sit there 30 minutes. The Rebbe Rashab says sit there 50 minutes. Right? What are you running away from the menorah? Right? What are you running away? So Shulchan Aruch says 30 minutes. The Code of Jewish Law says 30 minutes. Sit there 50 minutes. Sit there 2 hours. Right? Sit there 2 hours. Watch the candles. Look at the mitzvah. Look at this light. Why would you only sit there 20 minutes? Right? We should sit as long as you can. You should sit by the menorah and say, wow, what is this meaning what does this light, a simple light, mean to me? What does it mean to me? What does it try to tell me?
I heard that the Chabad does not put the menorah by a window.
Right.
You keep it by the door.
Right.
Could you explain that, please?
Yeah.
I'm used to not putting it by windows. So you can see that.
Right, right. So the Shulchan Aruch had to put it outside. Really, it should be outside. They moved inside because of the nations of the world. We forced the Jews to move it inside. So we put it. Became accustomed to put it between the mezuzah and the other side of the mezuzah. So we put it by the door on the other side of the mezuzah, so that you're surrounded with a mitzvah, the mezuzah on the right and the menorah on the left. So that became the custom. But you go to Yerushalayim today, you go to Eretz Yisrael today, they're lighting the menorah outside. Not outside by the window, they're lighting it actually outside, in front of their door. So that's what? They're not glass boxes, lighting outside. Yeah, they're lighting it outside. But that's really you need to light it. You need to light it outside. Problem is, in America, someone might come and steal the menorah from you, but especially in certain neighborhoods, so you might not find them later. But I was in Yerushalayim once on Hanukkah night, and it's beautiful. Hundreds of menorahs outside. It's really a nice thing. You walk down the cities of Yerushalayim, menorahs are all over the place outside in these glass boxes. They it's a beautiful thing, and that's what it should be. It should be. What? Yeah, the windows blow it out, so they have it in because it's winter there now. It's so they have it in black. Whatever. That's the way it should be. The Rebbe said in America, that's why we should go outside. We should go outside. We should put the menorah outside. We should put the menorah outside so that people should see the menorah. Should be. Yeah. Almost done, guys.
That's a little difficult.
So let's just finish this off. I don't want to get to the next thing. The Rabbi, the last member, say, make his will. Yeah. And the verse states in Psalms, trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and be nourished by faith. Similarly, it says, the Lord is good to those who await him and to soul that seek him. However, the person who relies on the Creator for his needs while rebelling against him, neglecting to observe some mitzvahs, how foolish is he, and how weak are his knowledge and understanding. For a person knows that if someone appointed by another to do a specific task, whether he is instructed to involve himself in one of the other needs, or whether he's instructed to refrain from a certain matter, and he then goes and disobeys the instruction, when the one who's appointed him finds out that he disobeyed the instruction, it will be strong grounds to refrain from doing that which his appointed had relied upon it. If this applies respect, reliance on a human being, all the more so it applies to someone who disobeys God, statute of mitzvahs, which is designated for our observance, and warned us about them. The hope that one who relies on God be dashed when he rebels against him, and it will be not befitting to be classified as a person who relies upon God. So you cannot say, I'm going against God and rely upon him. It's very interesting because the Gemara says, Ganev apamachtarta achmana karya, which means a Ganev, before he goes to steal, he asks God to help him. So right, so a Ganev, right? He trusts. He hopes his Geneva will be successful, and he goes to shul in the morning. He davens that God should help him, that his Geneva should be successful, because such a person should realize self-understood that is that's such an opposite, right? Because why does a person steal? In Torah, why does a person steal? Because he thinks he has no trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He thinks the only way he can make the money is by stealing. Right? If a person has trust in God, he wouldn't have to come on to any kind of things that he doesn't need to do. But he does it because he thinks God is that's the way God needs to help him. That's the way God is gonna make him successful. Is by doing things he shouldn't do. Right? And therefore the Abish says, no, if you trust in me, then you have nothing to worry about. Then you don't need to do anything that is the opposite of the correct way of doing things. So therefore, have emunas Hashem, have trust in the Eibishter, and don't do anything that is negative. Don't do anything that you think that the only way you can accomplish it is through a negative way. We can take this concept in Geneva when a person steals or a person steals from somebody else, he's hurtful to somebody else. People think, it's a famous story that Rebbe, I think it was the Mitzvah Rebbe, I'm not sure, saw his two children. One child was taller than the other child. So what happened was the kid was the shorter kid was near a ditch. They pushed his brother into the little ditch over there. Now he's taller than him. So his father called him in and said, you know what, you don't need to be taller by pushing somebody down. Just get on a chair and you'll be taller than him. Which means make yourself higher and you'll be taller. Most of us think that the way we overcome somebody else is by diminishing another person, by taking away something from him, by saying he's a bad person, by diminishing his value. We're going to find a negative in somebody else. Makes us feel good. That's not the way you should feel good, by making somebody else feel, by diminishing somebody else. That's the opposite. Make yourself uplift yourself. And not only you uplift yourself, you'll uplift others. And that's really the way it should go. Doesn't end off before human effort. Rather, it's like a person about which it says, Job, for what is the hope of flatterers who robs when God casts off his soul? Will God hearken to his cry? As it says in Jeremiah, will you steal, murder, commit adultery, swear falsely? And then it says, following that verse regarding the people, they'll come to stand before me in this house upon which my name is called. And then it says in the next verse, has the house upon which my name is called become a cave of denigrated men? So therefore, B'tach B'Hashem, you would never, if you really trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, therefore we all struggle with this concept. If we really trust in the Eibishter, we would never hurt another person. We would never denigrate another person. We would never hurt him gashmis, physically and spiritually, because we trust in the Eibishter, we trust in God, and we don't have to come about our own successes through downfalls of others, through the negate of others. We'd all be successful on our own. And let's hope we come to Hanukkah in which that we listen to the Oir Hashem, we connect to the connection of God, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to have a purpose in life. That's the purpose of our neshama, the purpose of why God created each and every one of us. I wish you all a beautiful, wonderful Hanukkah. God bless you all. I want to thank you for the gift that was not needed, but it was very nice. I appreciate